Hello and welcome to Indices, Powers of Fractions. And in this short video, we are going to go through model answers. So let's begin with our first question. Number 1. Work out the value of a half to the power of 3. Half to the power of 3. Now the first thing you will notice is that this is a 1-mark question. So which formula do we use? Well, in the tutorial we wrote this down. X over y to the power of n. And what we did was we simply multiplied the bracket out. So we had x to the power of n over y to the power of n. And that is the formula for powers of fractions. And let's put a circle around this, or a ring around this. And now we can answer our question. So we have a half to the power of 3. Let's write this down. So all we're doing is multiplying this out. We're getting rid of the brackets. So we have 1 to the power of 3 using our formula over 2 to the power of 3. This becomes 1 to the power of anything is 1. Over 2 to the power of 3 is 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. And that is our answer. So a half to the power of 3 is an eighth. Let's move on to our next question. Number 2. What is 3/4 to the power of 2? 3/4 to the power of 2. Again, the first thing to notice is that this is a 1-mark question. So again, let's write the formula out. It's good practice to write the formula for each question. So we have x over y to the power of n equals, to get rid of the brackets, it's x to the power of n divided by y to the power of n. And the more often you write these formulas for the relevant questions, the more often you will be able to deduce what the question is asking. So 3/4 to the power of 2, simply 3, and we're using our formula 3 to the power of 2, over 4 to the power of 2. We can now work this out. 3 to the power of 2, meaning 3 squared, is 9. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 to the power of 2 is 16. 4 squared is 16. And that is our answer. 3/4 to the power of 2 is 9/16. Let's move on to our next question. Number 3. Work out the following. 2/5 to the power of 4. 2/5 to the power of 4. Again, the first thing to notice is that this is a 1-mark question. Now let's write our formula again. We have x over y brackets to the power of n. This simply becomes x to the power of n over y to the power of n. Now let's turn to our question. We have 2/5 to the power of 4. Using our formula, we can get rid of the brackets. 2 to the power of 4 over 5 to the power of 4. Now this becomes, and we can show some workings out, 2 to the power of 4 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. And 8 times 2 is 16. And now we've got 5 to the power of 4. And we can write this down like this. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 is 125. And the last 5 we multiplied by equals 625. Now I'm sure you know this off by heart. If not, you can actually work this out. Show the workings. So it's 16 over 625. So 2/5 to the power of 4. 2/5 to the power of 4. The answer is 16 over 625. Now let's move on to our next question. Number 4. What is the value of 3 over 2 to the power of 3? So 3/2 to the power of 3. The first thing to notice is that this is a 2-mark question. 1 mark for getting the correct answer and 1 mark for showing the workings out. And we begin by writing out the formula again. So if we have x over y to the power of n, that equals x to the power of n over y to the power of n. I'm just going to put a circle around this, or a ring around this. Okay, now let's tend to our question. We have 3 over 2 to the power of 3. Let's just write this out again. So multiplying the numbers out and getting rid of the brackets, using our formula, this becomes 3 to the power of 3 divided by, or should I say over, 2 to the power of 3. And we can multiply this out. So we have 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. So we can write that down, 27 over to signify what we're doing. 2 times 2 times 2 equals, well, 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. So we can write that down here. So the answer is 27 over 8. But we're not finished yet. We have to simplify this out. So 27 over 8 is, well, 8 times 3 is 24, becomes 3 and 3/8. 27 over 8 is 24 over 8 plus 3 over 8. The answer is 3 and 3/8. Now you don't have to write all of these workings out, but it's good practice because you may be faced with a more challenging question and it may have 3 marks where you will be required to write down all the workings out.